Feels like the millionth day in a row the goddamn streets in Ottawa are all shut down for pro-Palestinian / LGBTQ support screaming in our streets, fake body bags. Can somebody please answer me this question? The connection between Canadian liberals, far left woke ideologues, and Palestinians makes absolutely zero sense to me. I'm continually seeing these gays for Gaza, LGBTQ for Gaza. Did they not understand that Gazans live under the 1927 British law that states that if a man is caught sleeping with another man, he is sentenced to a minimum 10 years in prison, and in many cases the result is much worse than that. You get tossed off something, if you know what I mean. Did they not understand that if they outwardly lived their lifestyle in Gaza, they would be dealt with in an incredibly severe manner very quickly? Do woke ideologues not understand that if a woman is caught outside of her house without the written permission or being escorted by a man, they're thrown in prison? All the woke ideologues' worldview about progressivism are thrown out the window in Gaza and largely in the Middle East. We've now imported hundreds of thousands of people from cultures totally alien to ours. The woke ideologues, the left-wing Canadians, cheer it on about how open a society we are, how accepting we are, how they're all oppressed. Did they not understand that once our population becomes 35% Muslim, which it's on schedule to be within the next 35 years, how this country is going to transform and transform for good? It's the cognitive dissonance. If you were to think critically for about 10 seconds about any type of relationship between an LGBTQ rights champion in Canada versus somebody who's supporting the Palestinian state, Afghanistan, Iraq, anywhere in the Middle East that's a majority Muslim country, it's shocking. It's truly shocking. The rights that these left-wing Canadians so-called hold clearly are not authentic, because they champion countries that you cannot be openly gay in. You cannot live this progressive lifestyle. Are you kidding me? The idea that you could go somewhere like Palestine and say a man can become a woman can become a man. Can you imagine even attempting to say something like that in that society? You would be dealt with so quickly. These people are useful idiots, and they are going to be the downfall of Canada. Demographics are destiny. Canadians need to wake the hell up and realize we are on track. Our House of Commons is on track to become minority white within the next 30 years. And it's not about skin color, it's about values. Do people not realize that the culture, values, and belief systems in many of these Middle Eastern countries are extremely disparate from what they are in Canada? This is not about being called, who gives a shit anymore? Nobody gives a fuck anymore if you call them a racist, a xenophobe. There are parts of the world that have extremely different worldviews. And the woke liberals, due to this, I don't know whether it's the oppressor dichotomy, whether it's the hatred of white men in particular, which I know a lot of them have for whatever psychological reason I don't really want to get into. But the idea that you can just import hundreds of thousands of people from areas of the world that have wildly different worldviews are insane. And now in our Western civilization, our streets are being shut down on a daily goddamn basis, by people waving flags who, if they were waving those rainbow flags in the Middle East, they would be dealt with incredibly severely, incredibly quickly. Wake the hell up, Canada. People like Mark Carney, people like Justin Trudeau, people like Chrystia Freeland, people like Stephen Guilbeault, people like Sean Fraser, who want to continue after importing 8 million people in the past decade, want to continue to import 1.5 million between temporary and permanent workers in the year 2025. This is going to radically and permanently transform Canada. You can already see it every day. Our country has transformed incredibly in the past decade alone. It's unprecedented, the rate of the rate of change we're seeing to have 26% of Canadians be first generation and 33% of our population imported in the last decade is literally unprecedented. There are 3 historical comparisons. They are Rome, Argentina, and Lebanon, and all wound up in civil war. Canada, it's time to wake up. Enough is enough. Please share. It helps me out. We need to spread this message far and wide. Think about joining, becoming a member. We want to get this Take Canada Back movement off the ground. We need to join the UK, join Australia, and start fighting for Canada first. There is nothing wrong with saying that our government's primary responsibility is to the Canadian people, not to a foreign government. I'm so sick of these foreign flags on our streets every day. Make some noise. If you're following me on TikTok, make sure you're following on YouTube, youtube.com/@FightForCanada2025, because the Canadian government's not a big fan of dissonance, and I'm over 18,000 followers now. Canadian patriots need to unite and fight for this great country that our ancestors died for.